Yes, it is December 26th, and I am in front of a Christmas tree. That is for two reasons. One, because it is before Christmas when I am filming this video. Two, because if your Christmas tree is not up until after New Year's, you're doing it wrong anyway. Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Hannah, and I'm a 25-year-old musician living in New York City. And today we are going to talk about my 2021 New Year's resolutions. This is my friendly beginning of the video reminder to please subscribe to my channel and like this video. So I really kind of have mixed feelings on New Year's resolutions, to be honest with you. I think that it can be a great way to reset and do some good things, and it's, you know, a nice marker to make you actually do so. But also, why do we have to wait until it is a new year on the calendar to make goals and resolutions and whatever else? I also felt kind of conflicted about making a New Year's resolution video in this time because so much is still uncertain and up in the air. And I know we have a vaccine coming within the next few months. Some of my healthcare friends have posted about getting it already, which is so awesome, but we're still not really sure when things are going to be back to normal. So I decided to handle this by not making any career or money-based resolutions. Nothing on this list is likely to be impacted by the current situation and is mostly self-care type stuff. Now, due to the current situation, I've decided that I'm going to come back and make another video in 6 months where I reassess these resolutions, and I'm going to maybe eliminate some of them if I've decided that I don't really want to do it and I'm not really seeing a purpose in it. I think it's silly to stick to doing the same stuff for a year when so much can change in a year just because you said on January 1st that you were going to do it. So I'm gonna hold myself to this stuff for 6 months. And then at that point, I'm going to give myself an out if it's just not working or I'm not enjoying it. So in 6 months, I will be making a follow-up video where I let you know how all of these resolutions are going, and maybe I will chop some and maybe I'll add some to it. This might not be the way that you're supposed to do New Year's resolutions, but I make my own rules. Okay, so let's get into it. My first one is the only resolution that I made for 2020, and I'm gonna do it again, and that is to read 1 book a month. I know some of you are thinking that you read so much more than a book a month, and I usually do too. I really like to read, but I've also found that reading is something that I tend to push aside when I get really busy, and it's something that always makes me feel better and I always enjoy doing. I also just personally don't like setting those goals like, I'm gonna read 100 books this year, because that makes reading feel like work to me. And for me, it's a real source of relaxation, and I don't want to make it feel like something I have to do. But I found that just setting the goal of reading 1 book a month, not even 12 books a year, like I have to read 1 book every month. So I can't read 2 books in January and then not read a book in February. That's not how this works. I have to read at least 1 book a month. And setting that low, easy to do expectation for myself just makes it so that I'm consistently reading. I'm not stopping because I get busy with work or whatever else. And it's also not making it feel like pressure because I have to read so much. 1 book a month is so easy to do. Last year I did meet this goal and I read a lot more than that. It's just by setting that expectation of 1 book a month, it is keeping me reading no matter what. The second one is one that I do off and on so much and have so much trouble holding myself accountable for and doing consistently, and that is journaling. I like to journal when I can get into it, and I have set the New Year's resolution to journal so many years, and I've broken it by March every single time. But this year, it's gonna be my year. I'm gonna journal regularly. I'm not going to say that I will journal every day, because again, that makes something that is supposed to be relaxing really, really stressful, and I'm not trying to do that. So I'm going to say that I'm going to try to journal most days. If there's a day when I'm just really not feeling it, I can't think of anything to write down, and I just don't want to, that's fine. But I am going to try to get into the habit of journaling regularly. I actually today bought this guy a fresh journal. I wrote my first entry in it today, and hopefully I can stick with it better this time. I also have my gratitude journal and my autobiography guided journal that I talked about in my Christmas gift idea video a couple of weeks ago. So I have 3 different sources of journaling. I'm sure that most days I can find it in myself to write in at least one of these journals. I'm gonna do my best. I have also always struggled with having trouble sleeping. And it used to mainly be I would have trouble falling asleep, but here recently, within the past few months, I've really, really had trouble staying asleep. So I'll wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning, and my brain just goes. Everything that is on my mind comes up, and I just can't go back to sleep. It can be anything from work I need to get done the next day to awkward things I said in high school, or just anything that is on my mind really will come up in that time. And I'm hoping that journaling before bed and just getting all of that out will keep it from coming back up if I happen to wake up in the night. The next one sort of goes along with both the reading and the journaling. And that is just that I want to take time every day for myself to do something that is good for me. What I mean by this is that I want to spend half an hour, whatever I can fit in, doing something like journaling or reading or taking a bath or playing with my makeup, or just something that I enjoy doing that is active self-care. So I can't just sit and watch TV for an hour and call that my me time. The reason for this is that I find myself saying a lot that I don't have time to do things like read or journal. But then I'll be procrastinating doing work by sitting and scrolling on my phone or watching TV, because it seems like in my brain, I think that that is something that I can just stop doing whenever and get my work done. But if I pick up a book, I'm gonna be there for hours and hours. It's totally illogical and doesn't make any sense. I'm realizing even now that I'm making relaxation sound like productivity. This is how much of a productivity complex I have. I hope this is making sense. It's making sense to me, but I don't know. Is this making sense? It sounds like I'm turning relaxing into work. I'm not saying that I will never sit and watch TV. I'm just saying that I want to make sure to take time to care for myself in other ways. I don't know, maybe I'll cut this out. My next one is to continue keeping track of my monthly spending. So I've been doing this for a long time loosely, not as well as I should for sure. But then in July, when I went back to New York after being in Virginia for the worst part of the pandemic in New York, I started keeping track of my spending. Like, not just I spent $25 at Target. It's I spent $4 on this item and $5 on this item, and just very, very specific, so that I can see exactly what I'm spending my money on and know where I can cut back or where I could spend a little more if I wanted. I want to continue doing this through all of 2020, and I want to do it even better. Although I've been keeping track of what I spend, I have to admit that I'm not always completely keeping track of the money that I'm bringing in. As a freelancer, my income changes from month to month sometimes, and I'm not always totally sure how much I've made in a given month, which I know is so bad. But that is changing in 2021. I'm gonna keep track of that, and I'm gonna keep track of my spending like I've been doing. The last resolution on my list is another continuation of this year, and it is just to keep making YouTube videos. I'm enjoying doing this so much. It has been so fun to have a creative outlet outside of just making music. As much as I love being a clarinetist and a musician, I feel like I tie a lot of my being to that. It's like I'm just Hannah the musician and nothing else a lot of the time. And it's cool to be able to come on here and just talk to you about whatever I feel like and do silly things like that time I made the fall Starbucks drinks at home, showing you guys how I do my fingernails. Look at my cute Christmas nails, by the way. I know it's after Christmas now, but look at them. They're so cute. All right, anyway, it's just been a lot of fun to have another creative outlet. I'm really enjoying learning to edit and learning how to market this stuff and just how to do it all. It's been really, really fun. And I want to continue doing that all through 2021, and I want to do it even better. I want to get better at planning my content in advance. Sometimes I'm really good at this and other times I'm not. So ideally, I would like to get to the point where I have a month of content planned in advance at minimum, and maybe even filmed, depending on what the content is. If I'm vlogging, for example, I like to get that posted pretty quickly after I actually do it, because it would be really weird if it's April and I'm posting a vlog about Christmas, you know? That doesn't make sense. But within reason, anything that is not time sensitive, I would like to have done quite a bit in advance because I really don't want this to become stressful. It's been really fun for me, and I feel like a consistent ongoing thing in this video is me trying to make sure things are not stressful. Can you tell I've been a little stressed? But anyway, sometimes I'm really good at planning in advance and having ideas for a month out and having things filmed a few weeks in advance, and then other times I'm not so much. Like, for example, I'll get that done and then I feel like I don't have to do anything for a bit, and then all of a sudden I need a video out next week. So I need to do a better job at making sure that when I get a month's videos done at a time, that I'm still consistently working. So I'm definitely gonna work on that next year. While we're talking about YouTube, if you guys have any ideas of videos that you would like to see from me, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And I'm also having a little bit of a creative block right now, so it would help me out a lot too. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be on the lookout in June for an update video on how all of this is going. I really hope I can stick to it this year better than I have in years past. Also, while you're in the comments leaving me ideas for content, let me know what your New Year's resolutions are, or if you haven't made any at all. That's fine too. I almost did in this weird times we're in, and if you don't feel like it, that is absolutely fine. Please do not forget to give this video a like. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for new videos every Saturday, and turn on the little bell guy to be notified every time I post. I hope you guys had an awesome Christmas yesterday, and I hope you have a happy new year, and I will see you on January 2nd. This jacket kind of makes me feel like Kim Possible or somebody.
New Year's resolution, be Kim Possible.